Okay, we are back. Sorry about that. Glad someone called in and let me know the stream was not working over on Twitch, unfortunately. So I had to set things up, get that working properly. So everything's good now. I was just trying to push for highest quality as I could for the picture, but Twitch was not having that. They didn't like that. They're like, that's too high for us. Error. We don't work for you. So YouTube didn't have a problem, but I guess, but they did. So okay. And I got the camera set to 4K now as well. Trying to up the picture quality here for everyone. Also got zoomed in on this. So anyway, if you're watching, make sure to drop a comment in the comments. Let me know so I know that you're tuned in and we're good to go. And then we'll start opening this up and checking it out. Okay, so sorry about that. Had a small error with the Twitch there. Had to fix that. That is all done. So now we can check this out. Okay, so we'll start off with just showing the box itself here. See, MINECUBE 360 Ultra ARGB Sync Snow Edition AIO Liquid Cooler. Oh, that's just an alarm. If anyone's wondering what song that was California Skies by Robbie G. There we go. Alright, fan times 3, reverse fan blades times 3. 30.6 dBA patent quad LCD cube design, MagForce 2.0 magnetic quick connection design. So MagForce 2.0 is this right here. So this is the 2.0 and I have some 1.0s so I'll grab out and show you so you can see the exact difference. What I'll do is I'll do it when we open this up and actually see the real connector, and then I'll show you the side-by-side comparison. So that's kind of a cool thing to be able to show you. I also have the Snow Edition one stuff that you can see exact difference. And mine's not the ARGB sync, it's the original ones that go with the Thermaltake controller. So that's something to take note of. ARGB sync. So what that means is that it's going to sync with your motherboard using these different motherboard softwares here. See, so that's the catch with that. It's not going to use the Thermaltake controller. So if you're using other Thermaltake SWA-FAN EX fans, don't expect these ones to match up the same with the other ones and work in your same ecosystem. So that's something to take into consideration. myself, I have 9 of them already for my PC that I'm already full and have all the ones I need. So what I'll do is I'll just take these and use them for a different build where it's actually going to be using motherboard controlling for the rest of the other lights as well, so then it won't be an issue to have that for that situation. But for some other people, that might be something that you run into where you're wanting or expecting that to work with your other SWA fans. You have to be aware of that, or be careful that basically you're going to get some other different type of SWA fans that you're going to have to either figure out how you want to do that, or just don't do it at all. So I mean, your choice, not mine. Alright, let's get it open. Oh wait, you know what, I didn't show you the back side. There's really nothing to show you on the sides, but I might as well. So it's very plain on the side, so nothing there. Oh, there is some stuff here, but it's just like a whole ton of fine print stuff that's not going to matter. And there we go. This side does matter, so here we go. So you see the detailed features there. The airflow direction. So with the swappable fan blades, you can be able to pull the fan blades out and then still have the fan facing the direction you want with the lighting, and then have the airflow go a different direction instead. That's the whole concept and idea and point with that. So, and it's got this quad LCD cube design. It's always complicated when these cameras are reversed. Alright, so yeah. And then, yeah, specifications. I don't think that's like focused the best, but you can like freeze that at any point and get that information. But you know what? You could also just go to their website and look up that information on their website. So let's just move on and get it open already. I feel like this is one of those freaking Facebook reel or TikTok video or things where they just like keep talking and then stop and keep doing something else, and then they'll just keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to finally see the result, and they'll stall for like 8 or 10 minutes. Like, we should start to kind of open this, but oh wait, maybe I should check around for something else. I think I need a drink, and then I think you get the idea, right? So let's not do that. Okay. Alright, so first of all, you get this awesome sheet of foam. I'm going to get my digital caliper there so we can know exactly what size that is. There it is. Alright. Okay, so we get this foam here. That's about 4 millimeters. So we got this 4 millimeter thick foam. Just think of the crafting potentials that you could use this awesome foam for. And guess what? It's just a freebie. Like, it's not even really part of what you were paying for, and you still get this amazing, beautiful piece of 4 millimeter foam. Oh wait, you know what? Let's measure it. We need to know exactly, how big is this foam? I mean, you at home might want to be crafting with this foam, so let's figure that out. That right in the corner there. Okay, so I'll mark that. Let's say 11 right there. about 16.5 inches by 9 inches. So you got 16.5 inches by 9 inches at 4 millimeters. Sorry for the mix of unit types, but easiest way to measure that, trust me, it is. Okay, so, and there, so the 16.5 by 9, 4 millimeters thick. This is incredible. Incredible. Like, man, that the Warhammer stuff and things that somebody could do with that, or cosplay even. I mean, lots of resources. I mean, you just, your imagination, use your imagination and the thoughts of limitless potential you can use that foam for. All right, so let's move on to the next item. It's the easiest to take out without too. Okay, you know what? Let's just get the whole entire crate part here, carton thing. Just take that right out entirely. No one ever does that, I swear. Just take the whole thing out with all the stuff in it. Like, everyone usually just keeps that in there, taking the stuff out, right? No, let's do it different, I say. Okay? So, I don't know why this was like that. Maybe it just fell on the side or something, crumpled up. Product warranty policy. See, it's got all that product warranty policy information, right? Different languages. It's even got some Chinese and other stuff here too. So, like, I could take out my phone and use the Google Translate app, and then I could translate from this Chinese here right into, like, English, and then I would be able to know what's in the manual. Or, you know, I could just read the English section. But, you know, if you want to have more fun, you can do it that way. They give you the option. Thermaltake, options available. See? That is some remarkable stuff. Thermaltake, color your way. And your mod, your way. See, it's all about options with Thermaltake. Except for when it might not be, and, like, don't hold me accountable to that. That's not my situation. I'm not affiliated with Thermaltake. I don't work for Thermaltake in any way, just so people know. Okay? I have my own thing. It's Steffen's Tech. I'm always on their live stream. Check them out every Wednesday. Waffle Wednesday starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I think 1 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah, and they give out these wonderful prizes, which this is one right here. I won this like a couple weeks ago on the Waffle Wednesday live stream, and they mailed this out to me. This awesome, incredible. You get at least one, like, a chance out of however many people there are in the stream, usually like 100 to 200 people, so it's good odds. Like, definitely suggest drop by and check him out, not just to win the prizes, but they got great content too. Thermal Mike, awesome guy, very great host in that show, and goes through showing you some awesome products of theirs, and does cool liquid cooling things sometimes, and all sorts of awesome stuff. So very, very similar to what I'm focused on doing with my channel, except for less of product stuff, more liquid water cool. But nonetheless, let's just get on with things here. So now we got part list, an installation guide, and additional AMD installation guide, all on one sheet. And look, they even have this. You can scan there. You just scan here, and there's an installation guide digitally, I guess, with the same information maybe that there is here. And there might even be like a video installation guide. That would be very cool and epic. You know what? we should scan here and see. What does scanning here get us? I got the phone's not recording. Let's scan here and find out exactly how that works. Okay, let's do it together. Okay, open up and scan. Oh, boom, scan there. MINECUBE 360 Ultra ARGB Sync AIO liquid cooler. Unfortunately, you can't see well from there. The link says lihi.cc. So it's like a shortened link, I guess. It would be more trust feeling to click on the link if it actually said part of the Thermaltake website or thermaltake.com, thermaltakeusa.com. I'm gonna risk it because I trust Thermaltake that much, kind of, and it's for the views. For the views, man. We gotta see what happens, right? So this could be a virus, and my phone is ruined, and like, boom, I just lost my phone on stream, or this will be whatever we find out it is from Thermaltake. So let's see what happens. Okay, it took me to thermaltake.com. We're in trust here now. I did not get the virus. Okay, so looks like we're good, broskies, and let's check this out. Okay. Some reason it started me like way down on the page, so I'm gonna bring this. Whoa! Gonna bring this up to the top, but I gotta bring my table down a little because I forgot to lock in my secret lab table here. Okay, so a lot to get to the top. Okay, there we go. There's a lot on here, but it looks like the brightness is not gonna work well. Okay, so I'm gonna just see what the address is here. Oh, I hate that. There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. It's just like the main page for the product. Well, I could always just bring that up on my browser or drop a link and stuff. It's not as exciting as you'd expect. There's some cool stuff. Let's see. Download software user manual. Just trying to check quick if there's like a video installation guide or something like that. I've seen that kind of stuff around before, but not find anything specifically, so we'll just move on. Okay. So I guess scanning here doesn't exactly take you to installation guide. It takes you to the product page for this product on their website. And I couldn't find the installation guide. I'm not saying it's not there. I just didn't see it like while I was scrolling around quick enough, and didn't want to have to spend a long time on the mobile thing trying to figure that out. So, all right, we're done with documentation, I believe. Now, don't quote me on that in case I run into something else in here as well. All right. First off, let's get to the swappable fan blades. That's not going to matter. Okay. How about the fans? You know what? Let's start with the fans. There's only so many things I can pull out of here. So we're going to pull out the fans. Alright. These are the Swafan EX ARGB fans from Thermaltake, and as you noticed, I'm only holding on to 2 of these. This is not one package. These are all individual packages. Whoa, what was that? Oh, wait. I'm gonna hold on to just this one. Whoa, look at that. They didn't fall. They're just like magically hanging there. Whoa. How's that? It's because, well, here's a little trick to test. It's because they're magnetic. Isn't that cool? Magnetic fans. So that makes them like way easier in metal cases, at least, to mount them sometimes and stuff, because you can have them hold into position better. And then also, the really neat thing about these, take them out of their bags. Okay, so now we got 2 raw ones right out of the bag. So what you see here is this is the MagForce 2.0. See how there's 6 big pads there? And then this one's got 6 pins. So what happens is, boom. And now they're held together with the magnets. And then all the connection pieces are connecting to each other, so it sends all the electrical signals from one through to the next, so that way they can all power and light up from one single cable. So all you need is one cable on one end, and you can connect like 3 to 5 of them or so. I forget how much the limit is, depends on what style you're using, and then you can be able to power them all. So this one comes with 3, and I expect you use all 3 like that with the cooler, and then you only need 1 cable. Isn't that awesome? So no longer do you need 3 different cables and wiring them all over the place. Now you only need 1. So I do suggest putting the screw, at least every one of them and stuff, holding them up to mount them when you put them in your case, though. I wouldn't advise like relying on the magnets to hold the rest of them in place at all. Not that you couldn't try, but I wouldn't recommend it. But as the disclaimer says, my recommendations are not to be used as actual advice and such. Okay, so here's the other deal. Now, the swappable blades, this is what's going to be showing you next. So these here, what happens is they're going to spin like that, and it's going to grab the air coming this way, and it's going to blow the air out the back the other side. So if you put these, say, in the top of your case, like that, then you're going to get to see all these rings here light up in the fans and look nice, and then it's going to blow the air out the top. 1 second. I gotta grab a delivery here. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me. All right. So yeah, the swappable fence. So now, I don't want to risk these falling apart and dropping, so I'm just going to use one of them. Next up, the swappable fans. So these will be reverse flow. So the way that works, is you take one of these here, and then in one of the other bags that we haven't got to yet, there'll be a little tube with some fan lube, and then you're going to want to make sure that the shaft is lubricated up and stuff before you swap them. So what you need to do is just what I was doing there. You got to gently put some pressure from as many sides of the fan as you can at the same time, so you don't bust the fan inside. And then you just gently keep pushing until it pops, and it's going to pop out. And then see, there's the inside, and it's already got a bit of lubrication on it. And then there's already a bit of lube inside there. So see, this is what this looks. There's the lights that light up the fan. You can see them now because they're exposed. So what happens is you just take that, and you take your reverse one, and you just put it on top of there and push it down until it pops in. I'm not going to do that right now because it's not lubricated and whatnot. So yeah, so then once you have the reverse one inside of there, what will happen is now, if you had this at the top, it's not going to pull air and push it that way. It's going to go the other way. So say you had this at the bottom of your case instead. Before, when you had it at the bottom, you would have had to have it face down like this to get the air blowing in your case, and the ring light wouldn't be facing the way that you'd want it to actually see it light up nice. So now you can be able to have the ring light be facing up, and then with the reverse fan blade in there, it's still going to pull the air through the way that you need to while getting to see the nice part of the fan. So that is the whole deal with the swappable fan blades. So I thought that was a really cool idea from Thermaltake, and I really like that. And I like the classic ring light that they do. So that is why I invested in and got myself a bunch of these. Now, you can't see from this angle, but in the corner right here in that build, right underneath these red fans at the top, there is 3 white ones of these that are the one older, different model, and I wish I could take one out to show you a direct comparison, but I cannot do that at the moment. However, I will go see if I have a black one I can grab, as well as one of the connectors. So one moment.
No.
Okay, So here is the original MagFlow 1.0 SWA fan, and here is the connection on that. See, it's got 8 smaller pins. See, 8 smaller pins. So different style, and these ones work with the Thermaltake RGB controller hub, so that you can do your own custom stuff with their software. And then this is what the connector would look like for these type. So you have your 8 pins. I think that the reason why they switched it was that the 6 pins are easier to line up and not have to worry about it not being aligned perfectly. So you attach it on like that, and then you can attach a bunch of other fans. Unfortunately, you can't mix and match these ones with those ones, totally different connectors. So another thing to also keep in mind. Now that leads into the next thing I want to show you, which I did that on purpose. I did it on purpose. It's like one of those transitions to like a sponsorship ad or something. But it's not a sponsorship ad, it's just the next thing to show. Okay. So this is the new style connector. So big difference. Old style, new style. Now, I'm not sure if this is the new style for all of them, or this is just the ARGB one, because I noticed there's a difference that these more premium ones from the non-ARGB are sleeved. These ones are not. And yes, the older ones are also magnetic. Just the same. I got 9 of these older ones. But I mainly do need the older ones in the way that they are with their pin out, because I am making my own fans. But I don't want to make this episode about me. This is just an unboxing for this, so I'm not going to sidetrack onto my own project. That'll have to be a different video. At least I mentioned it. So nonetheless, these are the connection methods for those. And then here's the new connection method for these. So I want to take this, and that, and boom, like that. If anything, this one feels like it slides around a bit more than the last one did, but and also it's kind of weird that this cap piece is larger than the actual piece it's going on to. Couldn't say I'm a fan of that. I don't like the way that works. I guess it's easier for someone to pull it off, but it's like fairly weak. That's not hard to pull off to begin with. In fact, how much is the difference? Wow, if anything, this one feels harder to pull off. Like there's stronger neodymium magnets in these ones, and it stays on there with more force compared to this one. Maybe it's just because of the leverage with the large piece here. It's able to bend and rock it. It's always different if you're pulling at. Maybe it's about the same. But at least your larger contact pads that you're not going to have to worry about it not being touching them. So, alright, so that's that part there. So we got the swappable blade fans. We got fans themselves. So they're going to connect all like that. And then, oh, yeah, here's also something I noticed. So that's only going to work. Oh, wait. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, so that's another weird thing. It doesn't go either way. It's only going to go the one way, which is the arrow towards the middle. And then you probably want to bend the cables whichever way towards the case when you put it in. So then you're going to have to, okay, so you can at least flip them this way or that way depending on which side of the case you're going to want the wire on. So that's something I was noticing. Alright. See, that's what I was worried about, dropping one while holding them all. They're good magnets, but they're not that strong. You can fumble and drop them. So, alright. Fans, fan blades. Let's go into this. Next thing that's important is something we already mentioned, and I want to show you now that I can get it out. This is the fan lube. Wish they'd give you more, to be honest. It's a helpful little tube of some grease, and you use that to put in, make sure that it's greased up properly and fits your fans. Okay, next up, this is some mounting hardware here. You got some screws for the fans, and then some more mounting hardware for the CPU block part, some screws for it, and some thermal compound material, and the cable to plug in the MINECUBE, I imagine. Alright. There's the contents of that. So also keep in mind, when using these screws, make sure to only use these screws that came with the exact radiator, because these aren't for screwing the fans into the case. They're specifically for screwing the fans into this radiator, so that way the threads and the distance match properly. If you use the wrong ones, sometimes they're too long, it might puncture into your radiator or damage the fins, something you don't want to do. Or it could be the wrong thread and then start stripping the threads in your radiator. So, alright, I'm going to save the MINECUBE cube itself for last. Oh, no, wait. Looks like we have something else really exciting. Okay, so you can see, you're kind of getting a tease of the MINECUBE there right now, but I'm not going to actually take it out to let you see the whole thing. So why would I swap the blade fans? I did a whole thing going over that. You swap the blades on the fans because it's going to change the airflow direction. So what you want is, if you got the fans here on the bottom of your case, you want to be able to have them sitting like this so you can see all the nice light rings. You don't want them facing down. So what traditionally with fans, the side here that has the fan hub, right there, that's going to be the side that the air is coming out of. So you'd have to have the fans like this for them to blow the air up into the case. But then you wouldn't get to see the lights on the right here and have that all light up nice. So now you can swap all the fan blades, and then you can have these actually facing up, and then the air will come in and blow up. See? So, and yes, I spotted that. I was like, we gotta check that out. That's next. So got 3 inches by 4 inches by almost 1.5 inches. That is awesome. So, I mean, just like I said earlier, think of the possibilities. You could craft so much neat stuff with this little piece of foam. And that also came free in the box. Like, that's just a little extra that they throw in there. As well as this. You see this? This is gel, silica gel. This is an amazing little extra gift they throw in there, because you know what you can do with this? You can open this up. If it's the actual proper gel, let's see. Is it the real gel, or is it like a different desiccant? We will test that right now. Where's my scissors? Where's my scissors? I got them. Okay. Let's check this out. All right. Here we go. Oh no. Desiccant silica gel. But then we go like that, and it's not the same little plastic ones. These are like the weird little dry, I'm not sure what they're made of. Like, I wonder, is that actually still silica? Or is that just like raw plain silica? Like, I don't know, it does not look the same as like the typical ones you're used to seeing and the ones you'd buy for like 3D printing. But I mean, I guess if you can collect enough of the same kind of these from other packs, and see what you can do is you could take these and you put them in the oven at like a low temperature. I forget which. You have to look it up on the internet. Don't like get that info from me. But you can dry these back out, make sure that they're nice and dry, and then you can be able to seal that up and use them for your 3D printer filament to help keep your filament dry and stuff for your 3D printer. And these are just coming free. Normally you gotta pay for that by like buying a bunch of it for your 3D printer use. So it's always awesome when you can get that for free with your products. So, you know, for your 3D printer enthusiasts out there, just another extra little bonus to mention. Okay, let's get back to this cooler. Oh, wait. You know what? We have even more bountiful things have been brought to our attention. We do have this cooler, but look what else they actually gave us with the cooler. Check this out, guys. This is like beautiful art, like thick paper, like a cardboard thick paper that's nice and clean and white, and it's made into this rectangular prism that's hollow. See that? So just imagine the art possibilities, what you could make with this, like the beautiful designs you could put, and then you could put that on a shelf in your house, or hang it on a wall, or even better, if you were like a modeling type person, you could use this to make a large building. That could be like a huge skyrise apartment building in like your model city. Just imagine the possibilities, that like what you can make with this, and like how much you would have to spend on something like this at an art store, and they just give it to you free. Like, wow, Thermaltake, this is amazing, guys. I can't believe the extra bonuses they give you with these products. Like, it just, It just blows my mind, man. Just blows my mind. All right. Speaking of blowing my mind, I'm gonna hide that so you don't see it still. You know what? I need a drink before I even get into the next thing that I'm going to show you, because the next thing I'm going to show you makes all those previous things look like nothing at all. This next thing is just going to be incredible. It is so amazing that you can't even tell it's there or what I'm going to show you, because your mind's probably not even in the right spot to think about that, unless you already been like getting in tune with the vibe that we've been going through. And if you are one of those people that really appreciate all this art craft, like beautiful gifts, beautiful gifts that they throw in here. I mean, you know, I thought when I was doing my Waffle Wednesday, and they said my name, I'm like, no way, I won. What? I won? And then the wheels spin, and then it AIO liquid cooler. I'm like, no way. That is like the best prize on the wheel. I was so excited. I was like, wow. But then I thought, there's no way. Are they gonna include the MINECUBE 360 that just came out, the new best amazing cooler that they have? Like, will that also be available prize? And so I asked Thermaltake, I was like, is that available? And he said yes. I said, no way. I thought, wow, that is gonna be so cool to actually get one of these and be able to show all of you on the live stream, unbox it like this. The fact that I'm here now and it's actually happening, it's just wow. But you know what? I thought, like, is there going to be like extra gifts or things included with the box, like on a premium product? And I didn't expect the level of things that I would actually have gotten. The way that, like, 4mm foam, 16.5 by 9 inches. Like, come on, people, that freaking amazing. Plus that other little block, like what you could make with that whole block of foam, the way you could be able to craft awesome stuff, like especially if you're into models and Warhammer and all that. Like, oh man, that's freaking awesome. And then to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, the piece de resistance, the crème de la crème. Isn't that sick? Look, what does that remind you of? You know what I'm thinking? Star Wars Battlefront, Mos Eisley. Doesn't that look like the streets of Mos Eisley? And the buildings, the sand buildings and stuff, man. You could turn this into a whole little Star Wars action battle scene with some paint and little figures. That would look so amazing. And they just gave that to you for free as a gift with the entire cooler. Like, that is freaking mind-blowing, man. This can make a beautiful art. Think about that. I could use that for a custom PC mod, and that would look so cool. Oh, you know, I could even make that look like cyberpunk style or something. Make it all like futuristic, cyberpunk city shit. That would be cool, man. That would be cool. What? No way! I see this guy, I see chat saying to me right now that Broski is hyping up stuff I'm told to throw out in the trash every week at work. No way, chat. Bro, that is crazy. I can't believe they would just throw out such amazing craft-worthy pieces like that at your work. What? That's nuts. See, this other chat here is saying for Warhammer. Exactly, for Warhammer, right, chat? Okay. I think we just need to calm down from all the crafting stuff that like they gave for free in this. Oh yes, we forgot to mention the rectangular prism, clean white, like that. There's not anything on that. You could draw and put whatever details you want, and you don't have to worry about it like having some other shit you had to cover, or that like it's ruined. Like that is beautiful. You can make so much neat stuff with that. Like I place that carefully on top of the foam, make sure it's nice. Alright, so next up we're gonna get to the radiator. It's all in one, but I'm gonna just start with the radiator and talk about the radiator first. So the bag. Okay, so we gotta take the bag off here first, but don't throw those out. You can use these for so many other crafting ideas as well. These bags, if you just check out like 5-minute craft type things and stuff, search 5-minute craft with bags, I bet you there's 1,000 different uses you can use that for. Okay. Yes, that's right, chat. Shame. No, we should not shame around here, okay? We keep the vibes positive within reason, alright? No shames. It just, things happen, okay? Alright, let's get into this. Here we go. So this is the radiator. A whole huge, nice 360 across. So that's 3 times 120 fans is the way they measure that. So that's like 120 millimeters, and then 120 millimeters, another 120 millimeters. So it's 360 millimeters. That's the way that's measured. And then now we're going to check the thickness of the radiator based on, I guess, like the outer box of it. So that's 27.4 millimeters. So that's not too bad. 27.3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare that with some other average radiators that I have here from my custom water with. Let's see what the thickness difference is like. Okay. So here we have an Alpha Cool, very common 240 radiator here. Let's see. Okay, almost the same, a little bit more. So this one's 30 millimeters. The other one was 27 point something. But at the same time, this one here is closer to the fins, and this one has an extra area out from the fins. So the actual parts inside, I would guess, are probably pretty much close to the same. I'm guessing that the actual radiator part inside for each of them is 25 millimeter. Now, they do come in other thicknesses, so just to have some fun and show you the extreme opposite, this is like a huge monster, is what they call it, a monster radiator, I think, or something, from Alpha Cool. Let's see how wide this one is. Oh good, my caliper is actually big enough. Look at that. 84 millimeters thick. Oh yeah. If you need the thick one, go for that. Yes, 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 I did. I did win this from a Waffle Wednesday. This is not a sponsored item. I'm wearing a Thermaltake shirt because I also won this years ago as well. This was a swag on the waffle wheel. I won this shirt. So I don't work for Thermaltake. This is Teffin's Tech. Thermaltake's its own thing. I just happen to do a fair amount of stuff with Thermaltake products, like this case back here, and this build is also in a Thermaltake case. So I've been using Thermaltake since the early 2000s or something like that. It's been a long time. So been a long journey with Thermaltake. Alright, so let's get back to this radiator. So now here's another thing to point out. So that other radiator, the reason why it had a lot of extra space before the fins was so that way there's a safety area and a little safety piece to block you from screwing the screws directly into the radiator and ruining the radiator. So that's why the other one was set up the way it is. So that's another reason why you have to be extra careful with this one to only use the screws that are included. So that will help prevent you from ruining the radiator. So that's why I wanted to do the radiator first, explain that to people, help make sure nobody ruins their nice brand new Thermaltake product. Now, you know what's beautiful about this? Is they really went to the nines to paint this white very well. They looks like painted the whole inside fins before they assembled it with the rest of the outside piece, which I'm seeing is like all one piece, and I can't see where they would have connected it together. So I'm really confused. Oh no, I would be interested to see how the manufacturing process worked for this one, actually. It's really fascinating sometimes how some of these things are made. Makes you wonder how they got the fins inside there and like sealed this around. I can think that maybe they put them in and then this bent or crimped in around it, but it looks like these are directly in that. So goodness, I have no clue. That is something. Alright, so this right here, okay, this is something you're not supposed to use as a user, because technically these units are built and made to and meant to just last the way it comes. You're not supposed to service it yourself. So if something does happen with it, typically you should send it in for a warranty, manufacturer, RMA thing, stuff if you really need to. So, but as a PC modder, we go beyond the warranty here. So this is Teffin's Tech. This is a Thermaltake show. So I am going to explain to you. This is a fill port and drain port. That's what this is. So, and a bleeding port. So, what you do is you got to make sure that that's the highest point in the loop if you try to access it, because otherwise shit's going to start coming out of there, and that's going to be a mixture of water, distilled water, whatever kind of water, and usually some antifreeze similar components, and anti-corrosive agents and stuff are going to be in that. You don't want to get that on your skin and stuff. Make sure you're wearing proper protection gloves, and then you're probably going to want to I don't want to mess up the paint or anything on this, so I'm not going to do it myself. But this is a little rubber area, so I'd imagine that's going to come out, and then there's going to be a little screw inside there, and when you unscrew that screw, that's going to access the liquids inside here. So sometimes what happens with these is permeation is bound to happen at some point or another. That's why they usually use specialized type of tubing that's the least permeable, so the liquid doesn't permeate through the material. So what can happen with liquid over time is it's going to eventually make its way through the micro pores inside the material and evaporate out of it. So what's going to happen is the liquid level is going to end up less in about, say, 3-4 years down the road. That can start to end up happening. Say you have this like 5-6 years down the road, and you happen to actually keep this and use a long time, and you haven't gotten a new one. Well, maybe what might happen is you don't have as much liquid, and then sometimes when you start it up or things, if air bubbles start making their way into the CPU block with the pump, you're gonna start hearing like some noises and shit because you got air problems. So that means you need to fill the back up with liquid. So then what you're gonna have to do is make sure that it's up at the highest point like I showed, and then you're gonna want to get yourself and actually at this point you're probably going to want to service the whole thing as better as you can. If you're able to know how to do that and take apart all of this part here and stuff as well in the block, you're going to want a torque screw for these here, and then you're going to want to take apart all of this stuff here and take apart this water block, and then you're going to want to carefully use a toothbrush and clean out all the micro fins inside there. You might have some guck and slime built up in it, and then after you got that all nice and cleaned out, you're going to want to flush water, distilled or reverse osmosis distilled water through the loop and through this and stuff to help flush and clean it out a bunch, and then buy yourself some proper actual coolant stuff for using in a computer, like this here, this mod water, reverse osmosis deionized PC coolant. Now this isn't made for mixed metals, which this is. This is meant for a water loop that's like all brass and copper and stuff, not aluminum. Now this is aluminum radiator and copper block, so you're gonna have galvanic corrosion issues over time. So what you need to do is you need to buy some extra corrosion inhibitors and add a bunch of those in with your mix, or get some antifreeze from like automotive that has a strong amount of corrosion inhibitors in it. Something that's like really good for corrosion inhibiting, and then make your own mix of that. Research on the internet how that works, and then you're gonna have to use a very small tube and pump, and then gently, after you put it all back together, obviously keep filling it up until you fill the whole thing up, and then you'll need to probably connect the pump to a power supply on your own and stuff to be able to turn it on, in order to get the liquid flowing through all of it, and then keep filling it all up, and then just fill it till you get it all the way to the top and get all the bubbles out of it the same way that you would with any custom water loop, and then put your screw back in, your plug on, and away you go. And then now your cooler will be like as close to like new again and working great and stuff, and you get another 5-6 years out of it or so. So that's just a little tip for you, what you can do with these to extend the life out of it for a very long time. So something you're not supposed to do technically, and that could probably void warranty and stuff, so keep that in mind as well. That's not part of anything from Thermaltake advice or nothing. That's just me letting you know how the actual stuff works in life and what you can do and things. And don't take my advice if you mess something up with that. That's your own problem. Make sure to thoroughly research what you're doing before you do it. So here's the CPU block. It's got this copper plate right here that contacts the CPU. Then it's got a bunch of little micro fins on the back side of it. The water's going to go in through here, through a pump, and then through those little micro fins, back out the other tube, and then up into this radiator, and then that will take all the heat from the CPU, put it into the radiator, and then the fans will blow the heat out of the radiator. And that is how this custom AIO water cooler loop works. So now you're probably wondering, what is this other stuff? So they have this little fan built in here that's going to blow down to help keep this unit a little bit cooler for electronic components, as well as the air will blow out the side here, and then depending on the way you have your loop set up, it can help cool some of the VRMs for the motherboard for regulating the voltage, or it can help cool your RAM. So it just depends on the orientation that you install it. So like if you install it this way and it's blowing that way towards your RAM, it'll help your RAM. If you put it like this and it's blowing upwards, if you got VRMs up above it, then it's going to help cool those down. So that's a little feature that they added on there. I think it's kind of neat. Not sure how effective it is because I haven't tested it, but and then dun dun dun, the whole main thing that we've came here for, the actual MINECUBE. So here it is. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 screens to it, because one side has to go down onto that fan thing you saw there. And it's got area to draw some air into it here, and then the air goes in through here on this side. So that side will be either, usually you're going to want that either at the back of the case or the bottom, and then that way you can see the rest of the screens. And you can put your own custom images, whatever you want, on these different screens. There's a couple of pre-made themes from Thermaltake you can pick as well. I hear they're working on possibly making some more. Don't quote me on that. And you can do video, like GIF, depending on how you want to say it, images on here, so that it's got like little motion things happening. And don't think you can put full video yet, and they used to have a feature on the other RGB programs for some of their other coolers, like the one I have in my other room that my son's using. He's got a round one, and you can be able to sync it up with any window on your computer to actually actively display what's going on that window and stuff. So you can do like a little movie, you can do game, live stream, all sorts of things. They might look into adding that into the MINECUBE software. We'll have to wait and see. So, and the MINECUBE here has extra power for all the screens with the SATA power, and then it's got the data cable here to connect to the other cable we saw earlier to plug into your motherboard. So that is everything. So that basically wraps up the MINECUBE 360 AIO, yada 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 yada, all in one unit, whatever. Yeah, so that is the unboxing, and these are the awesome art crafting bonuses that were included. Don't forget the bags, the things you can do with the bags. I'm excited to even see. Maybe I'll have to look that up for myself after the stream. And like Cyberpunk, Mos Eisley, or something like that. Freaking cool, man. That is freaking cool. So we get all these extra awesome crafting pieces for nothing, included with the cost of this amazing cooler. So hope you enjoyed. I see it's like almost 9:20, so 40 minutes available, but I mean, I could show this real quick. Not much to show, but still got a few more layers. Got some like bit of dripping there, you can kind of see at the right angle and stuff. So Still, you can still see some of the print lines and stuff too. So I'm still working on filling it in, sanding down some layers, filling it. I haven't done a whole lot the last few days. I've just been super busy, but gonna get back to that, trying to smooth it out more, make it look like it's not a 3D printed piece, right? That's the whole point. So try to get this done sooner than later so we can get back to building the rest of this sick water-cooled computer over here and do more tech content streams. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed all this awesome tech stuff. And yes, my lovely chat, my chatlings, my little chatlings, we will do Hellgate. So I got an extra at least 40 minutes, and you know me, when I'm playing that Hellgate, we usually stretch it over. So stream will keep going on till whenever I want to stop streaming, doing some Hellgate right after this. So I'm going to carefully pack this back in here, and then we'll get things going on some Hellgate, and we'll stop the stream real quick, start it back up so we can change the stream name and category on Twitch and everything, and then we'll stream it as Hellgate. So give me about 5 minutes. 9:25, we'll be back live with some Hellgate. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this stream. I thought this was very, very cool product. Really excited to check this out. So speaking of which, I'm gonna do my best, maybe Tuesday or something, to set things up, and I won't be able to stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, but maybe I can stream just to Twitch or something, or YouTube. One of the two. I'll have to figure it out. Possibly YouTube. You know what? I'm going to do YouTube because the VODs stay there permanently and stuff. So we'll live stream to YouTube from my mobile phone, and then we'll put this into the actual system and do all that building part on Tuesdays. Tefn Tech Tuesday, we'll actually do all the hardware, putting this in, turning it on, getting it set up, and all that fun stuff. So look forward to that. Tefn's Tech Tuesday next week. We'll make it happen. And as far as the rest of the day, we'll get this packed back up, and then we'll do some Hellgate. Alright. I'll keep the stream running until I get this packed, and then switch stuff over for Hellgate here and refill my drink. Okay. So have that extra foam under the cube, right? And then pretty sure the cube was in there like that. Okay. This probably have this one over it. Fans each have their own bag, right? Okay. This was probably for the hose. But this bag was for this. Gonna slide it right off the table. We don't need that. Alright. It's kind of like Lego or Tetris. Alright, there we go. That one in there. Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good. Let's see. I bet you that goes in there like that. And then this goes around here. Alright, are we forgetting anything, chat? Is this good? Should I put it, just put it in like that? What do you think? What do you think, chat? Are we doing things right so far? Let me know if I'm forgetting anything. Okay, well, chat's silent, so I'll double check around, so we don't got chat helping us out here right now. Okay. Here we go. See, look at that. Look, we were forgetting the beautiful art box piece here that you could make any amazing, beautiful piece out of that. Let's get that back over the radiator. Now it's being just used as like a protection cover, when like it's so much more than that. Oop. Oh no, I don't want to press too hard. I'm bending it. Okay. Gotta be careful with it. It has so much unrealized potential. I realize it though. I realize it. Okay. Let's get that fan lube. You want to put the lube back in the bag. Gotta make sure the bag has lube in it. And then screw the bag. Well, you don't want to screw it, but you gotta put the screws in the bag. Make sure it's all in. Oh, no, it's not all in there. Look at that. We were missing this. There we go. Okay. Now we got the connector. It's all in there. Alright. There we go. Slide that in under there. Okay. Extra fan blades. Fit those nicely in there. And then we got to put each of these fans back in their bag. Okay. One other thing I'm going to point out real quick between the MagForce 1.0 and the MagForce 2.0 fans. Well, as far as the ARGB ones go, I don't know about the non-ARGB, if this is a distinction between ARGB and non-ARGB or MagForce 1 and 2, but the logos in the middle are different. Now, I'm going to go check my white fans in the case to see if they're also like this or if they're like that. Maybe it's a black and white fan thing. One moment. Okay. Mine are spinning, but they really do look like they're the black ones. I'm going to stop one real quick and check. I don't suggest doing this yourself with your own computer, but I can do this. Just, if you do, don't stick your finger directly into the fan blades. Press gently against the hub in the middle that's spinning around to slow it down. Okay, so looking at these, I can tell you one thing right away. I need to clean them. Next thing I'll tell you is that, yeah, the sticker in the middle is black, like the old ones. So that's definitely a MagForce 1.0 to 2.0 difference, or ARGB to non-ARGB difference. Or it's just something they upgraded and changed on the white ones with the new ones so that it matched with the white better. I wish they would have had these on the first original white ones, because yes, the silvery kind of color does go better with the white. Well, nothing I can do about that now. Well, I mean, there is. I could probably like get some of these printed or copied, or see if I can get them to send me out some to stick over top of the other ones, but I'm not going to go to that point. That would be a neat, cool flex, though, if I could be able to get them to send me out just some of those stickers to be able to be one of the only people with the original 1.0 fans with the stickers from the 2.0 or something. That would be cool. Okay. There. Got those all connected. Now we can gently place those back in that section there. Bam! Look at that. I think we're getting it all good besides that gel pack, because that's cut open. I don't want to pour that all over the place in there. Alright, now we can fit these manuals and ooh, don't want to bend that too much. There we go. Now remember that manual, you could like look at all sorts of different languages on there and then be able to translate them to the language that you speak to get your instructions or your warranty information. Not even instructions, that's just for your warranty. Like, that's incredible technology you can use with this technology. That fits nicer with the bag. Alright, now got that, put that gently on top. We got that 4mm foam, 16.5 by 9 inches. In case you want to know if that'll work for your project or not. I mean, heck, you might want to just buy this entire thing just for the crafting stuff inside of it, and then you got this extra cooler as a bonus. Like, who could go wrong, right? I mean, how could you go wrong with that? That's freaking awesome. All right, boom! Look at that. Right back to how it was, aside from the silica gel when we started it. Boom! Right on the dot, 9:30. 1 hour and a half. We got this open, put back together. That's freaking awesome. All right. Thanks for watching. Teffins Tech, at Teffins Tech on various social media. We got teffinstech.com, but got some trouble. We gotta figure things out with that. Don't want to get into it right now. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Check us out on various social media. Links in the chat. Links back at the beginning of the chat if you want to help support. This is PayPal. Tune in on Twitch or YouTube every Tuesday, every Thursday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. All right. Have a very happy day.